Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Dark Souls PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I'm using the Blacksmith Hammer, the one that you get from killing Andre of Astora. Now, the Blacksmith Hammer is a typical hammer class weapon, but it's outclassed by the majority of other weapons in its, in its class. So, what I mean by that is it is heavier than most of the weapons in its class. I mean, it is I believe it's the second heaviest in the class at 5 weight. I think the only one higher than it would be the Giant Blacksmith Hammer, the Blacksmith Giant Hammer, whatever that's called. All of the other ones, they're at 4 weight or lower. It also does less damage than a few of the weapons that are lower than it, like the mace and pickaxe, war pick, reinforced club. Those all do roughly 430 plus damage. For me, with my 40 strength, the AR on the Blacksmith Hammer is only around 380. So that's really not good, in comparison at least. But it's manageable still. And really, it looks awesome. I really like the way this weapon looks, and the fact that you're sort of bashing in someone's face with a hammer, aside from the sounding really violent when I say it, it's really very entertaining to do. Now, getting started with the pros and cons of the weapon, I would have to say that the pros would include the typical hammer class pros being decent damage. I mean, they don't have the highest damage of a weapon, or of a weapon that weight, or whatever it is I'm trying to say. They don't have the best damage, but it's decent. Other pros that they would have across the class would be very good stun locking ability, and they benefit greatly from being two-handed usually, because when you two-hand them, you can stun someone extremely fast. Aside from the fact you'll be hitting more damage, it's more of the fact you're going to stun someone really fast and they're going to have a hard time getting out of it. So that pretty much sums up the pros. Also, another pro of this weapon, I'm not exactly sure or not, but I believe that it has slightly longer reach than the mace. Now, the cons are a bit more apparent. The cons of this weapon would be, of course, the typical hammer class cons, being the whiff animation if you miss, and relatively low reach. Other cons specific to this weapon, though, would be that you have to kill Andre to get it. There's no way around it unless you have a friend who has an extra, which I happen to have. You have to kill potentially the most useful person in the entire game to get this weapon. And it's subpar to a starter class weapon being the mace. I mean, 430 damage compared to about 380. And for 1 less weight, and you don't have to kill your blacksmith. I mean, it's really outclassed. That's what it comes down to. It's extremely outclassed. But it's still a fun weapon to use. It looks great. Like, just visually, this weapon looks like it's a hammer. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect a hammer to look like. So, it's kind of cool. I like it because of that. And I think that the style points, I guess, for lack of a better term, they can be considered worth it. I mean, it depends on how you're feeling and all that, but if you feel like doing something with a weapon that's a bit more of a challenge, and you like the way it looks, I say go for it. I mean, it's a decent weapon with decent damage, but again, you would have to kill Andre to get it. Now, for those who accidentally kill him in the beginning of the game, I know a few people who have done that. A few of my friends have done that, and just, can't believe they did it, but they ended up using this weapon for a good portion of the game, until, well, they couldn't upgrade it anymore and ended up giving up on the game and having to restart the file, or start a new file, rather, but that's a whole different story of my friends being stupid and killing every NPC in sight. I don't understand that, but oh well. Bit distracted from the weapon showcase, sorry about that. Really though, that's pretty much it as far as the pros and cons of the weapon are concerned. This weapon is, it's really straightforward, as are most hammer class weapons. I mean, none of them really have that much going for them, aside from the War Pick and the Pickaxe, which have the Leo Ring, and the Reinforced Club, and the Morning Star, which have Bleed. And then there's the Mace, which is solid damage, no bleed, nothing, but just solid damage, and it's a starting class weapon. So, really, in comparison to the others, this one, in my opinion, is subpar. You have to kill a blacksmith to get it. It is a heavier weight and does less damage than the majority of the weapons in its class. But it's a cool looking weapon, you get some style points for using it, and actually I got a few compliments from people because I was using it and was able to make it useful. So there's that, I guess. Overall, fun weapon. I would not personally recommend killing Andre just to get it, but if you're going on to New Game Plus or whatever, sure, go ahead and kill him, pick it up, try it out, have fun with it. So yeah, that pretty much sums up everything I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful in one way or another. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will see you next time.